my viewers and my followers may not understand the humidity game on baling hay. Whether you're from back east or somewhere in the Midwest where it's humid and hot all the time, y'all bale hay in the heat of the day when it's the driest because it stays wet for y'all all the time. Well, here it's dry all the time, so the wettest part of the day is a lot of times at nighttime or at the dawn, at the break of day. And we do get humidity enough to where it'll drop the dew down and it'll get wet. And y'all get that a lot, probably starting about dark. Y'all start getting dews where it's just wet on your windshield when you go out to your car. That's a dew. We get those, but it's few and far between here. Sometimes we bale just when it gets tough, and like right now, 25% humidity. Well, it'll get down to 11 today. I don't know if you can read that, but it's 25.5% relative humidity, 74 degrees, and it's like 10:30 out here. Y'all have never even heard of that back east or in the Midwest. I've seen it get down to 3, 4. I don't even know if there is humidity. I mean, I don't know if you're a Star Wars fan, but that is Tatooine dry right there. But anyway, we have to wait till the moisture comes up. Moisture comes in, and we love to bale on the come in. I hate to bale on the go out. Sometimes it'll get too wet on us. Sometimes, every now and then, it'll get where that dew will drop in the middle of the night, and it'll get too wet. I hear people all the time say, "Boy, you got after it early this morning." Well, if you're going to bale hay, you got to get after it early in the mornings. It's the only time to bale hay. You can't bale it in the heat of the day. I've heard people say, "Boy, you just like to sit there, don't you? You don't bale hay much at all. Why you keep all them odd hours and bale all night? What are you doing during the day?" Well, I'm doing stuff during the day, yeah, but we bale hay when the humidity is here. So, just because we're out here in the field don't mean we just get to go up and down these windrows and get it over with. Harvest takes a long time. It's like in the morning, we're going to get humidity. It's going to come in faster than it did last night, and more of it. Tomorrow morning, there won't even be any humidity. Looking at the forecast, there won't be any. So it's just few and far between, and you got to pick your times. Now I like to wait till it gets a little bit tough and start baling. Well, round balers don't like that. I've been a big square baler too long, man, too long. When it starts getting tough, that's when I start baling on a square baler. Well, a round baler, you got to have it a little more damp than that, and sometimes we just don't get it. But anyway, that explains the whole humidity game to you. It's we are weathermen. We watch the dew points, we watch the wind speeds, we watch the wind directions. If I got an east or a southeast wind all night, it's gonna get wet. It's gonna get humid. If I got a southwest breeze about 8 to 10 all night, yeah, we ain't gonna get no hay baling done. So anyway, that's just how the whole humidity baling game goes. So if you ever wondered about that, there you go. You learned something. Every part of the country is different on baling hay. It just depends on what their climate is. Well, good morning, y'all. Welcome to J. Essary Farms on YouTube. We are baling a little bit of hay. Baled quite a bit last night. Having a lot of trouble with moisture. Just can't get moisture around here. Got to about 73 or 4. There's a whirlwind. Got about 73 or 4% last night's all. It's real hard to wet up a windrow like that. That's 4 into 1. 2 merged into 1. I got my wife raking out here this morning, and she's helping me out. I baled all the way from about, what was it, 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I started baled about 200 round bales this morning, and man, it was just very, very difficult to get it to start a bale. And I don't know if that's this baler or it's all balers, but I know I've had my fair share of trouble with this Massey baler, and I hate to go against AGCO on this deal, but I'm not a big fan, AGCO, of these balers, your 29 series. They just I've had immortal hell with this one on starting bales and you know, and maintaining the bale. I mean, I was baling hay, and you get about a 40 inch bale, and you know, if you don't feed the header hay for a little while, you'll see that the inches drop drastically, and it'll just completely blow up. I've never seen that. It is a little bit dry, but it's 74% humidity, and it's been over 50 since midnight for about 4 hours, and it's kind of wetted up till about, you know, 65 when I started. You'd figure that it'd be wet enough, but it did get gradually wetter as the morning turned to daylight, and it not wetter. It didn't get any percentage-wise higher, but it did penetrate, I think, the windrow more. It's just that dry here, and yeah, a lot of it is crop conditions, but that's always the excuse of the red baler. It always crop conditions, and I don't know if a deer baler or a Vermeer baler or a McHale baler or whatever would do any better, but I know that I don't like this son of a bitch. So I'd a lot rather be big square end than I had round baling. But anyway, I was going to show you a little bit about putting in net wrap. Got a little Pritchett net wrap this time, so I'll show you a little bit of secret that I do on these. This baler is like one of the fastest loading net wrap balers on the market. All you got to do is tuck, and that's it. But I'll show you a little trick that I do. One thing I do is I bring Rambo to the field with me. You think, why in the world you need a big old Bowie knife? Well, I like it. It cuts net wrap real well. Anyway, I cut the little handles off. Then I like to cut the plastic. And it just so happened that this morning, I run completely out, right where I quit for the day. So that's pretty good timing. And then I pulled the plastic out from under the roll. And then I take the end here. And this is where some people don't do this. I get quite a bit of tail, and I'll take this, and just like it's an old ponytail, and I'll make a knot in it. Nobody's taught me this. I just come up with it on my own. I tuck that in there in this thing, and when that belt, it has that to grab against that mesh pan, it just pulls it. If you just put the tails in there, it'll pull it a lot of times, but sometimes it won't, especially on the first bell off of a roll. So I'll just pull it, and I'll pull a little bit extra, and then and just tuck it. And you can feel that roll. You just tuck it in between there. You can see there, it goes in between. Then I will spread this out and tuck that as well. That's what you're supposed to do, is you just tuck this tail in. But I like that knot. For one, it ain't gonna pull out as easy, because it kind of snaps in between the roller and this pan right here, and it makes it to where it won't come out, and then it'll grab every time. And then roll it in, and as you can see, it's all tucked in there. And then I let my bell over. Now, I like to leave the plastic on here, and I'll tell you why. There's all kind of flying shit in here, and you can get this end of this tail. I've had it do it. Get loose, and it get in down there in between this other roll, and it tried to pull two of them in. I've had this happen. So I like to leave the plastic and all on there. And you know, you got it secured with these bungee cords. I even like to leave them on there. That's why I take Big Bowie out there in the field, where I can cut all this shit loose. And then I'll show you what I do with all the trash. With every bale, or every roll, you have these. And what I like to do is put one of them on the end here. Turn it upside down. Then I will take this plastic and I'll shove it in the tube. I know it takes a little extra time, but I do a lot of custom work, and I damn sure ain't gonna leave none of this stuff behind. And I farm my own country too, so I don't want it in my country either. Then I get the little handles, and I stuff them in there. There. All my trash is in my tube now. Safe and secure. Now I can discard those in the dumpster. Or if somebody wants them. Do you want them? That's all good to go. Good to go. Got it all set up, and now we'll drop it down and we'll be good to go. Where I do like to keep my tubes, so I don't get them messed up with the next mesh roll, is I usually carry the tubes up here. That's where I keep them. So anyway, that's how I do that.